It's the Macism with a little late night live stream. Told you guys I was going to do a part 2 focusing on the community drama. Basically, it's a debate on whether 2K19 is better than 2K23. Like I said in the previous video, a lot of the people who love 2K19 just came out the woodwork like roaches, and they're doing their best to belittle WWE 2K23. Now, 2K22 wasn't much of a threat. You had some 2K19 people chirping. You can add me to that list, but it wasn't as bad this past week as far as the hate being directed at 2K23. I'm in the middle, to be honest, of the whole debate, to be honest. I love 2K19, played it to death. Watch my live streams, you know I played it to death. So I look at the whole debate objectively, meaning it's not just based on preference, it's based on obvious facts on what both games do well. Now, in terms of in-the-ring gameplay, 2K23 is the better game. Now, this could be in a subjective opinion, because like I said, it's all based on people's preferences. Some of the arguments I have gotten that people like prefer 2K19 over... Okay, where's my custom match types? Oh, there we go. Why they prefer 2K19 over 2K23, some of the reasons were they don't have to guess when it comes to reversing grapples. Well, that's the thing. Your only defensive option at the basic technical level was to do reversals. And if you play the game at the default settings, 2K19 at the default settings, well, the game has set reversal stocks for each wrestler, and it differs. And it definitely differentiates the main eventers from those of the mid to the lower card to the jobbers. Like a jobber, like R-Truth, will probably only have 2 reversal stocks. A decent mid-carder will have 3. You know, a lower mid-carder will have 3. Like a popular fan favorite will have 3. That's a lower mid-carder. Now, a true mid-carder will have between 3 or 4 reversal stocks. Most main eventers will have 5. Like the cream of the top, the cream of the crop will have 5, unless they're a powerhouse type of wrestler like a Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, where in this game, what do you call it? Weight detection, or a wrestler's weight really matters. And plus you have perks. I will bring that up in a minute. I would have to say the gameplay structure, because since this is more simulation based, it's more in depth in giving you more specific wrestler perks and advantages, like bigger, taller, more heavier wrestlers. If you try to do running attacks, they'll just brush it off. That has not happened at 2K23. Granted, I have not made a super heavyweight or a true male heavyweight, but they have taken out some of the, I will get to it later, like some of the passive skills that this game has. I love 2K19. I enjoy the gameplay for what it is, but I stopped playing it after a while because I turned the reversal stock options off, so it plays more like the earlier WWE games where it's just I can reverse whenever I want to, and the computer can do so as well. So it comes down to like a reversal fest based on individual wrestlers' stats when the computer plays. So if the computer has oh yeah, this is another argument people had. They took out chain wrestling. Well, they took it out in 2K22, but you didn't hear people complaining about it that much when 2K22 dropped. So it's only when 2K23 came out that they really bring that up. Okay, this is like the longest chain wrestling war that I ever been in playing this game. I don't know how I triggered this. I probably pushed the right bumper or something on accident to trigger it. I gotta get used to these controls again. It's like right bumper. Well, trigger is my reversal button now instead of triangle. And depending on the move, the timing is a little tighter. This is kind of an old wrestler I just changed the look of. A couple of days ago, I was experimenting with the tires and stuff like that. So this is an old wrestler that I changed the look. Basically made Jen Sparks from WWE 2K22 and made her a wrestler in 2K19. So this is Jen Sparks. 2K22. I did a highlight reel video of her. That is on YouTube as a video. But as you see, it's a more, the camera zoomed out. You know, the colors are a bit muted. It's not as vibrant. The lighting isn't as good. But you know, this was fine for what it was. Because the game played very well. So you really didn't have an issue with it. And then one person who debated with a comment that there's no more quick grapples. You have to hold down the X button to do a heavy grapple in this game. Oh, she got me? Seems to favor being outside the ring. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out why. We'll see how long she can keep it up. Charlotte, not in a good place right now. I know you got a little bit more stamina in this game, so you can do a little bit more running. In 2K23, you get winded a lot quicker. You do. Your stamina gets sapped hella quick. But then again, when you watch a real wrestling match, only people who really seems to got a motor are high flyers. And a couple of heavyweights when they do certain specific moves. Oh. See, since I'm playing Charlotte, she's going to counter. She's going to reverse a lot. And then not only that, some moves you have to reverse twice. Which took up 2 reversal stocks in this game. If you play certain cheesers and spammers and good players online, they would take full advantage of that. They would. And it would drive you nuts. I think another good thing about 2K19, a lot of the default arenas, you can go backstage. But that isn't the case in 2K22. There's only like a handful of arenas that you can go backstage now. I tested it last night. Oh my gosh, she's just countering all my shit. Countering all my shit. Did I get it? Yeah, I got it. I gotta get used to this timing. And then I keep forgetting you don't have to hold the left bumper to do springboards. Oh, I thought I gave her another finisher where she could combo after that. Maybe I think it's maybe a running attack. I don't know. You had 2 paybacks, but they made the second payback a little difficult to trigger. Oh, she got to finish her off. I admit the hair physics are a little bit better. Woo. Yeah, people. Oh, yeah, she got some weak legs. Submission. Defense is not very good.
And she escapes the submission. Not a lot of people can break out of that one, Michael.
Get out my ring. Oh, totally missed that. Do I have barricade? Can I put it through the barricade? Yeah. You still got OMGs in this game. Oh my god, I tried to put it through the barricade. Oh, you go. Oh, Jesus. I had it perfectly set up to put it through the barricade, but, Peter don't want to cooperate right now. No! What the hell? I'm holding down the right trigger. For some reason, it automatically does an attack. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button. That's why. Okay, that's my fault. I have to push the right bumper and triangle to do it. And she's going to reverse it. I knew she would after a while.
She might want to think about keeping the action within the rings. You know, to be the woman, you have to beat the woman, and Charlotte is in danger of losing that moniker right now. Oh, man, she's rolling now.
Oh, she counted that? It's like, I have this difficulty set on hard. So the computer puts up a fight. See, as you notice, you have actual, a stamina meter, which is the purple meter. And the more moves you do over time in the match, the slower your wrestler will walk and things like that. You take up more of it when you run. It goes down when you get hurt.
Back inside the ring.
No, you ain't rolling out the ring. You will not roll out the ring. Oh, now my finisher shit. Oh, she's down. There you go. Finally it comboed. Ugh. Little jab to the face, and then pow. Quickest kick ever.
Wow, nice move right there.
And she grabbed the rope. 2. Nope. Yeah, to grab the rope and stuff like that was a specific skill in this shoulder game. Knocked her out. Cool thing about 2K19, the creation community went all out when it came to face and body textures and attires.
Critics of these ladies in the WWE might not have been.
I didn't download too many, wrestler stars. I had to delete them all to make up space. This game also has only a 922 megabyte data size. But I'm going to show you something amazing. I was able to fill up all the highlight reel video spots in this game. I think you get about 23 spots, 22 spots, I think maybe 24 spots. You can do up to 24 Titantron videos. And I was able to copy and paste and fill up all the spots, but I had to delete a lot of wrestlers, a lot of textures that I downloaded to just keep it, strictly Sexy Libre based. I don't have as many wrestlers, probably only got maybe 30 to 20 wrestlers. I had to delete so much stuff in order to make room to make 20 highlight reel videos. Which is perfectly fine for me. It is possible. The cool thing about 2K19, when you delete stuff out the deletion, what is it called? The deletion utility, it actually gets deleted. How much room I got left? So I got under, what I got? Under 100. Under 100, what, 89? Yeah, 89 megabytes left on my data size. And I feel I could actually reduce that by cutting some of my highlight reel videos. I can delete, especially one I might delete, just add her to a tag team. And that would give me more room. Like I said, I used all the spots. But like I said, if you can keep it below 40 megabytes, you should be good. Sweet spot is between 25 and 35 megabytes. Like I can cut out some stuff in the and a black one to reduce the size of it. I can get rid of this one. I think it's the video. Like when you used not cutscenes, but the what do you call it? The alpha and the other kind of videos. If you reduce how often you use those videos, you can cut down the size of your highlight reel videos pretty well. But let's go on over to where, as much as I love the in-ring gameplay and the fact that you can do AI tendencies now in 2K23, which is a game changer, like I stated, but there is some things I wish they would have kept. So let's go into that right now. What I wish they really should have kept. I don't know why they took it out. I think they're just trying to make these wrestling games their own. Visual Concepts in 2K, they're trying to make these games their own. They realize that the simulation era is over, and that fan base who enjoyed it is just a very, they're just a vocal minority right now. That I don't see that era coming back. It's not coming back anytime soon. I think the sweet spot with the gameplay is perfect as is. Let's see if I was right about Bombshell Bunny. Let me go to her right quick. Alrighty. I wish they would have kept some of the paybacks that they took out, but I noticed they got removed and changed in 2K20. It's like 17, they started taking out abilities. Abilities used to be like passive skills, and they've been reducing them ever since. I wish they would have kept these. It's like now the pin combo is just attached to certain moves. Rope break, everybody can do rope break in this game in 2K23. Taunt, there's no promos anymore, so you don't have to worry about taunt. Technician is kind of a OP, kind of a skill, because it lowers the stamina for reversals. I didn't even know reversals took up stamina, to be honest. Teamwork, make tag team finisher, it made tag team, wrestlers be more specific to tag teams because they do more damage with their finishers. Fan favorite, 25 seconds to complete their comeback sequence. Brawl during a promo, and then it can reduce the health of people. This is good for starting rivalries. Dirty pin, anybody, I think everybody has that skill, especially if you make them a heel wrestler. Like if you had them set as heel in 2K23, they will do a dirty pin. Attributes, I've said time and time again that they need this back. Head durability. Head durability has no stat in 2K22 and 2K23. So that tells you that every wrestler in game has the same default head durability, and you can take full advantage of that fact in matches. Either make a wrestler with like a 90 technical submission or a 90, strike-based finisher, and just go after the opponent's head. I tested it with my calls. I just had calls like strikers that just attack the head. Oh yeah, it's like unless their opponents have a good day reversing their shit, oh no, they're gonna end matches pretty quickly. It gets pretty ugly. Yeah, I would rather take out leg durability to have head durability come back, because not many wrestlers and people make finishers. There's not that many finishers in the game. No submission. Well, there is a lot of submissions that attack the legs, but not many players make a wrestler that tailored to submitting people via the legs. And there's not many wrestlers in the game who have leg submissions, signatures, and finishers. So I'd rather that be gone. Damage recovery, I think that's no longer as a stat. Stamina recovery is gone. Momentum is gone. I believe agility is gone. They kept movement speed, strike speed. I think the lighter the wrestler is, the more agile there is. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think they have agility. I don't know. I have to go back. Maybe they do still have agility. But chain wrestling, these are gone. My performance is gone. Grapple speed is gone. This was a low-key OP stat. Grapple speed was OP. Because if you max this out, you can grapple people out of their strikes. Granted, you can still do that in 2K23. It's like you can pick, especially if you're using heavy strikes. Yeah. Yeah, you can get grappled out of, strikes. You can get grappled out of them pretty badly. It's like I tested some matches online playing people. It's like I can't use like my heavyweight like Anna Black and other wrestlers because speed online kills. I have played a couple of like people who used heavyweights, super heavyweights, but they gave them like a high flyer move set. So granted, they're gonna get tired and go through their stamina. Oops. They're gonna get tired and go through their stamina pretty quickly. But they hit like a truck when they do hit you. So it becomes your defense better be on point when you're playing against these type of players in 2K23. Your reversal and your online your Wi-Fi connection, your internet connection better be on point because they are going to run tackle and run grapple you to death. It's like it took me a while to pick the guy off. That match was like 20 minutes. He kept on kicking out of anything, so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to submission cheese this guy. My wrestler only had like I think a 79 in technical submission. It took a while, went after the head and made him tap, and then he sent me some hate mail later. And I'm like, why you hating me for, man? It's like, oh, you spammed submissions. I was like, I'm just trying to win the match. It's like we had a good back and forth. You were kicking out of stuff. I was kicking out of stuff. It was an epic match. I said, but there has to be a winner. And the game gave me an option where I felt I could take advantage of. I went in detail and explained, and I said, everybody has the same head damage in this game. So I just decided to tap you out, bro. I'm sorry. It's like, I went for the win. It's like, that's the point of playing the games, to win. So he didn't respond back after that. I also missed like certain skills. I missed fired up. You could store up to 3 finishers. Actually, I think you could score up to 3 finishers in 2K23. I think the most I got stored up was like 2. But no, you can store up to 3. Everybody can store up to 3 finishers. Everybody can ring escape. That's like a normal move for everybody. They will just go off the ring for some reason. You can change the AI tendencies in 2K23 where they don't roll out the ring as often. Combo striker, everybody can do combos, but this was a skill. I remember I had a debate with somebody. He was like, oh, I'm tired of people, spamming the whole combo system. It was like, dude, he just used that whole thing because he didn't like guessing, what to counter in the middle of the combo string. That was that person's issue who I was debating with. He didn't like how he had to guess in terms of countering people's offense. But to me, it means anybody can get offense in. It means mind games. As a person who play Dead or Alive at a high level, been playing Dead or Alive and Soul Calibur games where you had to guess or make a hard read or know what your opponent is doing or goad your opponent into doing something you want them to do. I prefer the fact that I can make reads to stop people's offense to give me an advantage, because just regular reversals is just a war of attrition. It's just all muscle memory. That's not a skill. He tried to say it's a skill. Well, since I'm the better reversal, I got more skills. It was like, nah, you just got better reflexes and muscle memory. That's about it. That's all it is. You could have a bad day reversing and get beaten by somebody who is not as good. But then since you know the game so much, you can out-cheese the person even when your reversal game is off. So graphically, I will say 2K19 will always hold up for me. It holds a special place in my heart. I will never say this is a bad looking game. 2K19 is a good looking game. 5 years later, it still holds up. As far as gameplay modes, you can still play the 2K towers. I think I only did like a couple of the 2K towers. And I think some of them had specific unlocks. I don't know if I can unlock the stuff because some of them were online specific. They gave you some creation parts. Showcase. I never did the showcase because I bought the $100 version of this game. Yeah, well, no. Well, how much was it? Yeah, it was like 99 bucks. It was like, yeah, almost $100 for it. So this one, dang, I still got the case. I don't want to read it. But it came with, I got all the DLC, all the DC. So I had the season pass. I got some super card, codes. I got the little, I think it's the AJ Styles, like, foil cover of the game. But it came with all the DLC. So I didn't have to play the showcase because all the Daniel Bryan stuff got unlocked for me once I put in the code to unlock everything. Let's see. You have My Player. I only played like maybe 3 or 4 hours of My Player and I gave up. It just didn't interest me. I think I can still play it, but you can no longer take your My Player and play online. Universe mode is universe mode. I'll probably go through that last. Edit superstars, edit teams. You have statistics. I think you still have statistics in 2K23. Title man. But yeah, let's go over this roster. This roster is really, really good. I think I find it funny that I didn't realize that another thing they took out is to change the momentum of matches. This was a key. If you look at the bottom of the screen, next to you can turn on and off entrances, there's a thing called momentum. Basically, if you set it on fast, this will make matches last like 4 to 6 minutes. If you set it on normal, matches on average, unless it's a squash, 6 to 10 minutes on average, but you may get a match that might last like 12 to 20 minutes. You'll get those once in a while. And then if you set it on slow, that's when you have those epic main event matches where matches will go between 15 to 25 minutes. If it's a good match, it could go like half an hour to 35 minutes. So this is something they taken out of 2K22 and 2K23. This was something they added to, I believe it was like WWE 12 or WWE 13. It got added to the series. After a while, people forgot about it. So you don't see people complaining about momentum getting taken off. But this roster, man, I think it has at least 220 wrestlers. I know it has at least 200 wrestlers even without the DLC. Because during this time, they were bragging about how many people they can cram on the roster. Which is pretty damn impressive. It's like this roster is nuts. It's like you had Adam Cole. I think 2K20 was the last game he was in. He had Aiden English. And I think you had both the people of the vaudeville villains. I think, or was he with what's his face? I think it was Rusev. I think he was with Rusev. I think what's his name got let go. The other dude. Yeah, so this is Rusev Day, Aiden English. I think this was to me was like prime AJ Styles, even though he came in, I think 2017, 2016. But I think 2018 and 2018 was his prime years where he was main eventing. He was the man of SmackDown. Then you had him. I don't know. I never understood this tag team. This tag team didn't do shit. Even that little scrawny manager did more for the company than these two guys did. Akim and the other dude, but the little short white dude, he was like a 5-time 24/7 champion. Kira Tozawa is still in the WWE. Alistair Black is with AEW. This roster, though, I'm not much into the in-game wrestlers. I barely use them, but even I wasn't impressed with how many people they crammed into this roster. This roster was ridiculous. Melundra Blaze, Cien Almas. You got earlier. I have to admit, like the Street Profits, like tag team entrance in this game was epic, but they never brought it back. They never brought it back. They never brought it back. I think they changed it. No, I don't know if they kept it in 2K20, but I love their entrance in this game. It has so much swag to it. And this is when the term swag was still kind of being used. It was kind of dying at this point, but it was still kind of low-key being used. It was like a lot of people were using lit at this time. That's lit. This is when the term lit became popular in 2019. Apollo Crews, when he was actually... I think he was main roster, but they didn't know what to do. I'm surprised this dude is still wrestling. I think he's in like his late 40s at this point. Bam Bam Bigelow, Baron Corbin, before the whole happy bum Corbin bullshit, before King Corbin. This is when they tried to book him as being almost a mid-card threat, but they still didn't do nothing with him. Old Baron Blade, you unlock him. I think Batista 10 was that Showcase? No, I think it was DLC. Bayley, Becky Lynch. This was I think this was during when she started to do her man gimmick. Yeah, not too soon after this game came out, she was really into the man gimmick. Bianca Belair was still on NXT in this game. Big E, which is funny, it's like they have him in his non-New Day outfit, but I think he was in the New Day in this game, which is weird. Big Show, I think this is the last game Big Show was in, or was he in 2K20? I don't know. Billy Kay, I think this was, in my opinion, this was prime Billy Kay. And what's her name? Yeah, Bo Dallas in the game, Bobby Fish, all these, Bobby Lashley. I think Bobby Lashley was DLC. This is when he returned to the WWE. Bobby Roode in his prime when they were trying to make him a mid-carder and almost a main eventer. Braun Strowman, this was I think around his title runs. He's only at 89. Bray Wyatt, this was right before the whole Fiend stuff, but he was doing the whole, I think he was with Matt Hardy with the whole Woken tag team. Bray Wyatt 14, Hart of course, Brie Bella, British Bulldog. It's funny because these guys are in 2K23 DLC, except British Bulldog got braids. Lesnar 93, Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Bryan Danielson. So you had early Daniel Bryan before he was called Daniel Bryan. Candice LeRae, which is weird. Candice LeRae is not in 2K23. That's because Johnny Gargano and her were also tied up in some contractual issues at the time. And I believe that I could have sworn that she was still under contract with WWE and Gargano wasn't. And then I think at the time maybe she got pregnant or something, was out the company. She got let go. Cedric Alexander was at 83. And 2K23, he's like only a 76. Man, but this was 205 Cedric Alexander. So this was him at his peak, in my opinion. Cesaro. Dang, chat gave him 75. I think he's like an 80 something. 2K23. Bears at 85. At 2K, I think she's a 90. 93. Chris Jericho was in this game before he left for AEW. Dang, yeah, Chris Jericho 2019 was my favorite Chris Jericho. Yeah, Christian. Yeah, and then you can unlock the freaking jobbers you had in the my player mode. I need to finish it because I think there's more jobbers that I can unlock. Curtis Hawkins, he had like the, yeah, he's a 64. He had like the longest losing streak in WWE. It was like, yeah. He lost more than that skinny, I forgot that one weird looking scrawny dude that they had in WWE. He was like a manager for like AJ Styles or something, and then he got betrayed by AJ Styles, and then he started helping, well, Johnny Moxley started helping him, and he won like 2 or 3 matches over AJ Styles. I forgot that dude's name. Curtis Axel, rookie Dakota Kai, Dana Brooke. This chick is still in the game. It's funny. I watched a short where she had to guess her rating, and I have to say I think it's a 71 in 2K23. So it's an upgrade from her 69. So she's forever a jobber, but they put the 24/7 belt on her. It was like she guessed her ratings of 71. She was like, whatever. It was like, I feel bad for her. So you had Daniel Bryan, Daniel Bryan 10, Daniel Bryan 12, Daniel Bryan 13, 14. So you unlock like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7 Daniel Bryans. Dash Wilder, DDP. There's Dean Ambrose in the game. And 86, so you had the Shield still on here, even though they weren't the Shield anymore. They all kind of had their whole separate thing going. Dolph Ziggler, dang, he's still maintaining that 84. I think he's like an 84 or 81 or 83 in 2K23. Drew Gulak is still in the game, still below an 80 rated wrestler. I think he was 80 in a 2K22. Drew McIntyre was at 83. He was just coming out of NXT and becoming a main eventer again. So I think it's the last game with Dusty Rhodes. EC3, he had a great look, but I think he was just bored. He was just boring in the ring. He had a good look, pretty cool little gimmick, but seen a couple of his matches, like that's all he's got. He's not exciting at all, and I think that's was his downfall in WWE. Got Eddie Guerrero, got Edge. People used to bitch and moan how Edge looked in the early 2K games between like 2K15 and 2K19. Here's another jobber you unlock. It turns out that one of the people in 2K22 storyline, I think his name was like Hector something, is the son of El Mago. El Mago Jr. is like Hector. Elias at his highest rating ever, 82. Ember Moon, I think 2K22 was the last game she was in. She was in 2K22. I hated wrestling against her in 2K22. Ugh. She was a handful. Her durability and her damage was just crazy. She was an OP female wrestling call in 2K22. You had the Colognes, you had Eric Young, Insanity, Eric Rowan, Fandango, Balor, Demon Finn Balor. You had like a 205 General Jack Gallagher. He is funny. He got let go for reasons. Haven't heard of anything of him doing anything in wrestling since. He was an interesting kind of wrestler. Interesting. Very pale white man. Godfather, Goldberg. Yeah, Goldberg was coming back. Nah, what game did he come back in? Was it 2K17 or 2K18? One of those games. Goldust. I believe it was the last game Goldust was in. I don't know, maybe he was in 2K20. Grand Metalik. He was unlockable in 2K22 in Rey Mysterio story mode, which I have not finished. Greg Valentine. Viking Raiders, Harper, Brody. May he rest in peace. Heath Slater, I think that was the last game he was in. Hideo Itami, I think this might be the last game he was in. Ivory, Jacqueline, Jake Roberts, Jason Jordan, this was definitely the last game he was in. Injuries basically forced him to retire early. Jeff Hardy, he was in 2K22. Usos, wow, so they ultimately just took these muscles and just added in my faction, but you had 2 versions of the Usos in fucking this game. Yep, 2 versions. Jinder Mahal when he was like an 83. It was like maybe he was 2 years removed from his title run in WWE. And then some of these Cenas I think are DLC. Kairi Sane. Was she in 2K22? No, she wasn't. I think she was in 2K20. I also think Io Shirai, who is now known as Io Sky, but she was Io Shirai. The first game she debuted was in 2K20. Kalisto, I believe this might have been his last game. Hey, we have 3 versions of Kane. Carl Anderson. I think they're back in the WWE, but I haven't seen them done shit. I know they're back, but I haven't seen them done anything. Cassius Ohno, he was like an indie darling, but I don't think he did much on NXT. So they never promoted him up to the main roster, and they just let him go. Kevin Owens, pretty good rating. He's an 88, upper mid Carter. Kevin Owens 18. He's still the same rating. They don't know what to do with Kevin Owens. As soon as he starts it's like as soon as he starts gaining some momentum and start winning and starts to become a threat, he either get injured or some family drama, or he'll get written off the show, or some contractual issues, and it just halts all his momentum. It's like he'll go strong for like a whole year, and then he'll fall off the planet for a year. So, yeah, Kevin Owens is a weird, unique wrestler. I never liked his look. So it's like, damn, they are very active in this recent group. What is this? Oh, this is I just turned on my computer. Let's see, Killian Dane. Yeah, like I said, I never watched NXT. Don't know who the hell that is. You got King Booker, Kofi Kingston, yeah, Kofi 12, Connor. Yeah, you had the Ascension. Was this the last game the Ascension was in? I think so. They made a lot of. I don't know. He probably been in it. Yeah, 2 versions of Kurt Angle in this game, which is good. Kyle O'Reilly, Lacey Evans, Lana. Dang, I'm not even halfway through this roster, y'all. This roster, you had Lex Luger. You had Leo Rush. Who remembers Leo Rush? When Bobby Lashley came back, they made him Bobby Lashley's manager. But in NXT, you know, he was a little beast. The problem with Leo Rush, he's small, little, and he could not stay healthy. And he was very opinionated. You know, he was a he was a young CM Punk. That's what it is. You know, people who are intelligent and feel they have a high degree of self-worth, who know their worth, they are usually not the best people to hire in companies. If you want them to like follow a line, it's like they make good mercenaries. Just say, okay, I'm going to pay you this amount of money. I'm going to book you, perform you. All I need is for you to be professional and just work. I don't want to hear your complaints. I don't want your bullshit. You know, just come here, do the work, and we'll go from there. I don't want to hear your bullshit, you know, and stuff like that. But I think Leo Rush, he was in the doghouse because he also, I think the first drama controversy was he didn't want to get hazed. He was like, some wrestlers try to say, oh, you know, hold my bags or whatever. Leo Rush like, hold your own damn bags. You know, he was one of those type of dudes. You know, he had self-pride and he had worth in himself, you know, probably a tad bit narcissistic, but, you know, he wouldn't fall into that wrestling culture. He's a typical, you know, millennial wrestler. You know. Oh, look at Long Live Morgan. Mandy Rose. So yeah, this roster was ridiculous. I don't know. I'm thinking Ukes knew they were going to be on the way out when they developed this game. I think that's what happened. In my opinion, I feel Ukes, this was their last game under contract with 2K. So they went all out. And maybe contractual talks broke down. And Ukes decided to part ways. But yeah, this roster was nuts. Hey, Randy Orton was only 87. He was not getting no love in 2K19. No love. Hey, you had Ravishing Rick Rude in this game. Rey Mysterio, what was he? He was an 86. Yeah, that's about right. And then they boosted him like all the way up to a 90 in like 2K22, which is kind of ridiculous. But I can understand. Yeah, you had Rhino. So yeah, this roster in 2K19 was nuts. Look at this. I'm still scrolling through it. You had, I think, at least with the DLC, probably at least 230 wrestlers on this roster. This probably the best roster out of all the 2K games. Granted, some people will say 2K14, but I don't consider, like I said in my previous video, I don't consider 2K14 a part of the series. 2K15 was horrible roster. Roster was ass. Some people like it because it was the last game that CM Punk was in. 2K16, vaguely remember it. It had some very odd choices, some very obscure people in the roster due to Steve Austin's showcase mode. 2K17 roster, it was decent, but those same wrestlers are in 2K19. A lot of that DLC is in 2K19. 2K18's roster was decent as well. But yeah, let's go on the universe before my the battery on my controller dies. So universe mode, like I stated in my previous video. Like I stated in my previous video, you have to create your own rivalries. You have to start your own rivalries. This game, it takes a while to get rivalries started. Because like you see, they have the whole potential rivalry sections. And so once you see that, you can book matches between these characters or have them interrupt each other's matches and attack each other to basically get these wrestlers started on a rivalry. That's how you get it started. And then they'll get up here where they're active rivalries. They go from medium to intense, high, very high, stuff like that. So I started a whole thing of this rivalry between Tammy Tanaka. I put my Sexy Libre wrestlers on 205 Live. So that's way they can actually go to WrestleMania and engaged in WWE pay-per-views. Because in this game, that's all that matters. Like, yeah, you can start your own wrestling feds and whatever, your own belts, but they'll only count for that show. They don't impact no Royal Rumble, no Money in the Bank, no WrestleMania wins or appearances. So none of those stats for your created wrestlers don't stick unless you put them on WWE shows. So let's skip on over to 205 Live, and I'll see what the recent match is to where I just got done with a pay-per-view. Yeah, I think so. We had a steel cage match. Let me check. Yeah, I had a steel cage match where I had, yeah, there's the rivalry, little maid girl in Pt2 Rai. That's been a long-running feud, and it's still ongoing. So let's see. Oh, what? Okay, I'm thinking, what's her name might interrupt this match or something between Starlight and Pt2 Rai. That's the first time. So Wildcat Suzuki is promoting herself. Is she? Wait, let me check my champions. Let's see. Nope. What's her name? Kitty Kobayashi. She might be calling out Kitty Kobayashi because they're having a budding rivalry. So yeah, see, that rivalry is growing. There's also one growing between Diana Dynamite. It takes rivalries longer to develop, like I said in my previous video. It's like you got to start booking these matches to get these rivalries to get up here. It's like you can have growing ones and then you'll have your main ones. So I'm going to start this show to see what's going to happen with the Starlight and Pt2. Let's see, champions. I like this menu a lot. It's a lot easier to see who held your past belts and how long they had them, days held, than it is with the recent games. The recent games, you have to go into universe mode, and then you have to go into your roster and click on the wrestler with the title belt to see the title belt stats, which is just doing too much in my opinion. But yeah, let me start this show and we'll see what it do with Pt2 and Starlight. Like I said in my previous videos, they stretch out these rivalries where there's a lot of backstabbing, them attacking each other. They don't really have a lot of wrestling matches with each other, but they're just trying to just fuck with each other for a long period of time. But it's good how it plays out, and you have to play out the storyline. You have to do 50-50 booking. Like I said, you win a match, you lose a match. And the story will branch off from there. Like I said, I had no problems purposely losing a match. I just put on a good show, made it a 4-star match, and then I just took the loss, and then I continued the storyline. If you just beat the computer all the time, the story will not move forward. It won't move forward. Granted, there's different paths, but it won't really move forward. So let's see how this one goes. I think it's the only rivalry of the night anyway.
Hold on to your seats. We have singles action coming up next.
We have one of our breakout talents versus a formidable opponent. Oh, we aren't going anywhere.
Yeah, I will say that the 2K23 has shorter loading times. 2K23 wins in that regard. Loading times in 2K23 are fast. The loading times in 2K19, I can go downstairs, make a sandwich, get a drink, come back, and still be able to get in time to start the match. Yeah, loading times in this game take longer. Granted, it's faster right now because I am playing on 205 Live. I'm not using my created arenas or nothing. So it's still taking longer than 2K23. But it's not as bad as when I use my created arenas and stuff. So let's see how this do.
Oh, and from behind. Why in the world? A relentless assault. Somebody's got to break this up.
The damage has already been done.
Get out of here.
Little Tammy was just beating that ass. So yeah, they've been going back and forth, whipping each other's ass before each other's matches against different opponents and stuff like that, which is cool. So far, all the cutscenes have been different. I haven't had a repeat cutscene yet, but that's because I'm actually playing the story to a 50-50, script. I'll win a match, I'll lose a match, and that will continue the story forward. So you actually have to, if you want to see more cutscenes in 2K19 and Progressive Rivalry, that's how you're going to have to play it. It was the same way with going back as far as WWE 2K14. You actually had to, if you didn't follow the path of the storyline, it would always loop the same cutscenes and everything. The story would not move forward. It was like that. It was like that from 2K14 up to I would have to say 2K17. Especially on PS3 and the Xbox 360 games. So you definitely have to play a story path. With 2K23, it gives you two divergent paths. If you watch my live stream from last night, the computer will book, it'll show you two choices, two paths for the story, and they'll pick a choice, and then they'll reenact that choice. So the computer's going to have a little bit more control on rivalries. It's not going to be as hands-on in 2K23, but you can set it to free mode where you're more hands-on with your storylines. I would say if you're running an E-Fed, I would say you would probably have to do it that way, because I had an odd cutscene in last night live stream where one of my wrestlers came out and showed up like the Undertaker, just appeared out of nowhere and choke slammed her opponent, and I'm like, it didn't fit that wrestler at all. So it just looked awkward and weird. It looked awkward and weird. It would have worked for one of my wrestlers, but not for that one. But right now, Pt2 Rise is kicking Star Suzuki's, well, not Star Suzuki, Starlight's ass. Oh, this might be a wrap. But I've seen Starlight pull out some last-minute victories, though.
Shoulders on the mat. And a kick out. Not yet.
If you thought Monday Night Raw was exciting last night, just wait until you see what we have scheduled for tonight. How much there? That has got to be it.
Now that was an impressive series of...
Can she end it here? There's the pin. It's over. It's all over.
A lot of good action in that one. Here's another
one. Pt2 Rise gets the win. She gets the win with the bitch slaps of death. That's what Samoan Joe's freaking... Hey, what's the name of that move? It's like a slap move. I'm happy that you can make it a finisher in these games. You can make it a... It's hard to find in 2K23, but it's in the game.
Man, this was great.
The pinch slaps of death, but you got to know the name of it to find it.
Oh man, look at that.
But I've seen another in-game wrestler use it. Dang, Pt2 just... Woo! But then again, I think she's in the top 10, so she has an attribute boost. That's why she beat Starlight. Starlight is at the bottom of the card, which is strange. They're jobbing her out on 205 Live. Which is funny, because her outfit has 205 Live colors with the purple, black.
Here is your winner, the Princess, Pt2 Rise.
Kicking off the night with an impressive victory.
Like I said, graphically the game still holds up. It's just not as vibrant. It's the colors are a lot more washed. Characters look a little bit more plastic, but that's been the case for most of the games. So yeah, you saw Tammy Tanaka beat her ass before the match, but Pt2 Rise a tough bitch. Took an ass whooping and still won her match. So yeah, this rivalry's been going on for over a month now. Even though Tammy beat Pt2 in a steel cage, that was a quick ass match, but it was a high octane match.
Singles action on tap right now.
It wasn't fair because I played that match. I wanted to get that win. Since Tammy lost the last match and then she got beat down during the promo. So that's why I wanted Tammy to win that match. You know, like I said, 50-50 booking. Alright, let's see what Wildcat Suzuki has to say. Let's see if her and her feud with Kitty Kobayashi will still go. I tried to do a promo last time and I lost. It was like they were like, oh, I just blew that promo badly. They need to bring promos back. But I think in their minds, they just feel it's not necessary, but it would be nice. I said instead of them doing promo lines, have the player type up their own promos. That's such an easy fix. Have the players type up their own promos. You can still keep the animations and all that stuff, but since it's text-based anyway, I have no problems hooking up a keyboard and typing up my own promo storylines for my wrestlers. I have no problems doing that. That's an easy, quick fix.
I had a feeling we would start this way. And the weight
it's funny. It's like they keep changing her outfit. I love this outfit. I love this attire on her. It's our OG attire. I wait for somebody to make those pants textures and port them over to 2K23. But I don't think that's going to happen. What should I say? You guys are for something special tonight because you're about to hear oh, that went hella fast. Ooh, that timing was quick. Oh yeah, Katie Kobayashi's coming out.
Oh, what now? She definitely looks laser focused right here.
Here we go. Let's find out. Definitely a fan favorite.
Bad doesn't even begin to describe the blood between these superstars.
It's like, as much as I like the promos, it's like the script that they wrote for the promos, you're gonna get the same line said almost every time. It's like only once in the blue moon they'll say something different. Like I said, easy fix. Have us write our own scripts. That's an easy fix for promos. Easy fix.
Doesn't even begin to describe.
I guess they feel like the new generation of gamers, so they're trying to go for more now, won't have the time or the patience to actually write their own shit when it comes to these wrestling games. Like the modern day marks, you know, they just want to pick up and play fun games that they can play online with their buddies. You know, that Call of Duty generation, they just want the whole social aspects of just shooting each other's brains out or beating each other's brains in online. The funny thing is like I have them as a tag team on Sexy Libre. I think I might make them a tag team right now. Right now they're kind of beefing, which is perfectly fine. It makes sense. I think after a while they'll just realize they work so well together. They're being apart. I think what it's going to come down to is Kitty Kobayashi is going to realize that Wildcat Suzuki is just a better wrestler than she is. And she said, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. Granted, but with the booking in this game, I've seen Kitty Kobayashi, you know, I think she did win her match. Yeah, she did beat Wildcat Suzuki for the 24/7 championship, but the computer booked it as a squash match, so that match only lasted like 4 or 5 minutes. But right now I don't know, Kitty Kobayashi got the better promo so far. Let's see what. Yeah, I think Kitty Kobayashi won this one. Yep, she beat the shit out of Wildcat Suzuki on the mic. I like how the crowd says, "We're not worthy. We're not worthy." I have to admit, in 2K23, the audio is very much improved. You can hear a lot of the crowd saying random shit if you have like headphones hooked up to your TV. It's like the crowd will say some crazy shit in matches. It's like they will call out name of wrestlers. On rare occasions, if your wrestler has a common like call name or nickname, they will even call out a nickname. I think there's only like a handful of names that is programmed that voices will say, but it does happen. Man, Kitty Kobayashi just dominated that promo. Another thing they need to bring back from 2K19 is breast physics. We need jiggle physics. Bring it back. Bring jiggle physics back. It's like I put this game in like a couple of days ago. It's funny because I think the last time I did this game was like about a month ago. I did a live stream, but I don't play it. I don't put it in that often. So every time I put it in, it just shocks me. It's like, oh my god, their titties jiggle. The females' titties jiggle. They need to bring it back, but they're not. It's 2K. It's 2K, and this is the modern day audience that they're making these games for, and they don't want to get put on blast on Twitter. So no, they're not going to have jiggle physics. I don't think they even got jiggle physics in the youth developed game for AEW. So that ought to tell you something. When that game comes out, like the fight is going to be on, man. It's going to be on. I noticed that they had a little bit more attention to detail in 2K23, but that's because 2K knows they're going to have competition this year. I think the AEW game will probably be out this summer, probably no later than late summer. It's coming out this year. They just got to go and get their rating straightened out. But let's check the news. So yeah, Kitty Kobayashi and Wildcat, they're doing their whole spiel. Yeah, Tanaka just came out and beat Patera's ass. Yeah. Pretty soon it's like Terry Tanaka is going to be the heel in this whole thing when things work out. Wow, Kitty Kobayashi, she went up into the top 10 with that promo. Along with Wildcat, Patera, Anna, Tammy, TJP. Who remembers TJP? Not many people. It was like they tried to hype him. He was like an indie darling. He had some pretty hype matches. He's a Filipino wrestler, so they tried to hype him. But they gave him this whole like gamer gimmick, which worked for a while, especially on the indie scene. But in the WWE, it didn't last that long, and pretty much they dropped him like a habit. It's like I think once 205 ended, they tried to put a lot of those guys into NXT, and it just killed off TJP character. And then they tried to make him go heel, and yeah, it just wasn't working. Just was not working for him. Who remember Tony Nese, the guy with the 8-pack? So yeah, most of they're mixed up in here in the top wrestlers here. They get booked pretty well. They get booked pretty fairly. I think the only people who hasn't been getting booked that often is Akira, Starlight, Akane, but they've been booking Star Suzuki, Diana Dynamite, and these. But it looks like Akane, Akira, Starlight is the lower card of the women's division on 205 Live. So not a lot of things have changed as far as the setup. It's pretty much the same as it is in 2K23. Only real differences is interruptions during the shows. I don't know. I gotta go back. I gotta do another show. Let me go back. Let's see. Let me try something out. Wait, let me end this show. Alright, let me get out of this universe and upload my other Sexy Libre universe. Oh yeah, which one was it? Was it this one? Gosh darn it. Let's see. Let's see, is it this one? Okay, it's this one. Okay. Alright. Skip all this ish. Next show. Oh, I think they had matches at Backlash. Okay, I gotta check the news. Because I had it set to where, I don't know, we'll see. Alright, actions, matches, next show. Alright, let me make sure I don't have them on here. Okay, good. Matches, next show. Dang. Got all these shows on here. And Kairi Sane's is talking her butt off on these promos. Like every week she's doing a promo. And then she has a match with Shayna Baszler. Like all the time. I might have to do that hard reset of the universe mode tip that Beach Bites gave me on his channel. Cause it's working fine on okay, that's interesting tag team. Star Suzuki and Anna Black. That's kind of an OP tag team now that I think about it. That is an OP tag team. Alright, let me check the news on this one. Dang, nothing's going on? What rivalries? Okay, the only rivalries between, yeah, like I said, Sexy Libre, they're a tag team. Sexy Kittens, and then they're going against Crazy Kawaii. That's the only rivalry I got going on. So we got the Dynamite Dolls with a random tag team match. Then we got Starlight and PKO. Maurice and Booby Chan. Connie Patera. And yeah. What do these power rankings look like? Okay, that's about right. This wrestler made a comeback. She's in 2K23. The person who created this wrestler got that bitch Chanel in 2K23. With two different versions of the wrestlers and two different attires. I still have to say, like, this version is the best. Got her, like, the tattoos and everything. Yeah, this version of that bitch Chanel is the best version. So yeah, I have this Sexy Libre very well planned out and set up. Let's see. See, this is what 2K23 needs again, where you can use your highlight reel Titantron videos and use them as a transition in your shows. So before the shows start, you can watch your highlight reel video. And then while the game is loading, even when the matches are ending, and then they'll have a show intro. They took out show intros in 2K23. So 2K19 does beat out 2K23 in that regard as well. It makes your show a lot more immersive. There's not as much immersion. See, here it goes, it plays again. In 2K22, you can do this as well in 2K22. But it doesn't repeat. You only have it once when the show starts, and that's it. It will not play again. But because 2K19's load times are so long, I actually like this. I don't mind looking at this as a loading screen. But you got to go through this as a loading screen, which is like 30 seconds. And then you got to go through the actual loading screen before a match starts. So let's see. So I don't have no breakouts? I don't have no breakouts options for this show. Okay, interesting. So in this match, I can change the momentum to make it, normal, fast, or slow. So I can dictate whether this is going to be a fast match, a normal match, or a main event 20 to 25 minute war. Yeah, you can set the momentum for all your matches. I don't think you can do that in 2K22 and 2K23. I'll have to check, but I can't do any run-ins on none of these matches, which is weird. It's like, I know people were complaining about that in the universe mode in 2K23, where you can do like a match interruption and stuff like that. But I think that's only if you have like certain rivalries or whatever, but I don't see it a part of this menu. I cannot do any run-ins on anybody. But This match is gonna be crazy. I can't have them in 2 shows because the matches are long in tag team matches, not crazy long as they are in 2K22 and 2K23. But these are the matches that injure my wrestlers the most. Granted, some of your wrestlers have different pain thresholds. Like I had one wrestler, Jin Chan. It's like she'll have 2 weeks where she's just good, and then 1 week she'll be injured. Like her and Wildcat Suzuki are my most injury-prone wrestlers in 2K19. They are the most injury-prone. I don't know if I did that on purpose. I don't know if I lowered their whatever. There's something in the sliders to where they just get hurt easily. But yeah, Wildcat Suzuki and Jin Chan are my most injury-prone wrestlers. It's like, granted, I don't take any risks. It's like as soon as I know they're injured, well, that sucked. Controller died, so I gotta put it on the charger, folks. But another thing that 2K19 has over 2K23 is the fact that your matches do save. They do save. It's like I have seen in 2K22 especially, where if you just exit the screen, the card screen, and go back into it, they will change the lineup of the wrestlers wrestling. So this game does save your cards, which is good. It's been only like a rare occasion where they'll change the card. But the rivalries will be intact, but the other matches may change. But no, this one stayed the same. This one didn't change. No, wait, it did change. No, did it? Did it change? No, it didn't change. No. It stayed the same for the most part. Potential rivalry between that bitch and on Akira. That's an interesting matchup right there. That's interesting. But yeah, I'm going to sign off as far as the drama with the 2 games to end it. I would say 2K19 has nothing to worry about. It still has the crown, especially if you want to run an E-Fed with your own created wrestlers and do your own universe. Yeah, it also has the most stable creation suite. It also has, a different type of feel to the gameplay. More simulation based. All the wrestlers have specific skills and payback that makes every wrestler appear unique and can be unique. The only thing that 2K23 has on 2K19 is graphics, better gameplay, and better presentation. Now, granted, the community creations with people like what's the status and people are like that uploading on community creations. Once 2K patches the game and they allow those creators to upload like more stuff that's hidden on the disc, like all the wrestlers from My Rise and stuff, then yeah, 2K23 is almost going to catch up with 2K19. Almost. But a certain glitch is stopping 2K23 from being up there with 2K19. It's gotten close. People will still prefer this game no matter what. You can't stop people from having preferences. Preferences are very subjective. But objectively, judging both games, 2K19 is the better overall package, better roster. The engine is a lot more stable as far as creation suite. Universe mode, I consider the universe modes kind of even. It's just this one you have to be more hands-on with it, and there's more options as far as you can do within it. But 2K23, I would say 2K24. If I was 2K, I would do a game overhaul with 2K25 because they do need to make the engine more stable to move the series forward. It's like you can't be just patching the same flawed shit every year. You know, you're gonna have to do an overhaul pretty soon. But yeah, so the nod goes to 2K19 in the head-to-head. But 2K23 is a great game. It's basically the SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 of this generation. I advise people, if you don't pick it up now, get it on Black Friday at $40. At $40, it's a steal. It's a good game. There is some annoying issues that I covered. But yeah, for those of you guys who stopped by, thanks for stopping by. For those of you guys who will watch the live stream later, thanks for watching. Stay safe. God bless.